parade, online trolls and Twitter terror, veto fights with autistic gusto, capture his essence with pen and paper. Veto is your inspiration. It's coming now and can't be stopped. It's gonna be a cool veto summer, summer, 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 cool veto summer, summer.
When I go behind and do the bump and grind, and it's only a matter of time because they call me the big bad booty daddy.
Booty daddy, booty daddy, booty daddy, booty daddy, booty daddy, 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 booty daddy, booty daddy, booty daddy, daddy.
Man, I'm a cosmic being.
Big bad booty daddy, big bad booty daddy, big bad booty daddy, big bad booty daddy, big bad booty daddy. Big
All right, everybody, look who I got with me right here. Let me, oh, hell, fuck, man. I got to rearrange this little window. We got the man, the myth, the legend himself, all the way from Fatl, all the way from the East Coast. We dialed him in. We were talking Art Bell back there for a minute. We were talking about Patrice O'Neill. That's right, Black Phillip. We were talking about a little Richard Pryor as well. The one and the only Charlie Snogans. Charlie, thanks for gracing me with your presence tonight. How you doing, motherfucker?
I'm doing fantastic. I'll grace it anytime. I'll be here for the whole thing. You know, dark Phillips, brown Phillips, beige Phillips, all the Phillips, this Phillips screwdriver. It's a pleasure to be here.
We love all the Phillips. Now, for people who might not know, I'm just rearranging your window just a little bit on OBS real quick, trying to fit you in frame, get you nice and purty right there, because got to put that big beautiful smile up there. Charlie Snogans is a fantastic artist, everybody. He did the Fatl. I'm sure you've done many other things besides Fatl. Fatal's the one that I'm most familiar with at the point. I'll show a little bit of that artwork here in a little bit. But Charlie, when did you first realize that you were captured by this creativity of visual representation through ink, pencil, paint?
It took I was maybe a later bloomer. My obsession as a kid was baseball.
Oh, baseball! Let's go.
I was obsessed with baseball. I was a kid in the '80s. I went to a Yankee game around 1984, and you walk out and you see the green, the great expanse, and I thought, this is it. This is all I want out of life. And I went home, and it was all about Ricky Henderson, Don Mattingly.
Oh, Ricky Henderson, that motherfucker! What is he? He stole all them bases, 30 for 30. Oakland A's, I remember that guy.
30 for 30. I think he has the record of either 120. Imagine a guy this day and age steals 40 bases and he's the base stealing leader. Ricky Henderson stole 120 bases in one season and then continued to do it year after year. So I saw that and thought, I want to take a leadoff first base like that. That is everything. That's all I ever wanted. So then I came back from the baseball stuff and I would draw baseball players.
Okay.
And then, eventually there's comic books laying around and I would read comics and I would draw the Thundercats and Looney Tunes and Tiny Toons and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And it didn't turn my head until maybe 1988 and that Batman movie came out with Michael Keaton. And I thought, what is this? This is I went to the comic shop with a different purpose of, give me this Batman stuff.
A different idea. Different idea in your mind. It captured you through that movie. I mean, that movie was fantastic. I fucking love Michael Keaton. But you saw that movie and you were like, bro, I want a piece of this action.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. I just thought, well, that is cool. That is cool in a way. Like I thought baseball was cool. And then a couple years later, I thought, I don't think I'm going to make it in baseball.
Now, did you play baseball? Were you a big avid baseball player?
I was all through up until high school. And around high school, I thought, this is sort of a dead end street for me. but by the end of 8th grade, it was the beginning of the 90s. And then I had seen Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane and Rob Liefeld. And then that even cranked it a different way, it wasn't just, I like comics and this Batman thing. It turned into, I like this art.
Okay.
I like this specifically. And that turned it very much into these lines that these three guys are totally different than what these three guys are doing or what this lady's doing over here. And then became obsessed with it. And I would draw the same things over and over again and just repeat it. And then I would put it away and see if I could remember it.
Oh.
And then I would take it back out and draw it again, looking at it and see how far off I was with my memory. So it was a lot of a memory thing of then, catalyze it into yourself and pull it in and then push it out. And eventually when you keep copying those things, then when you do it on your own for memory, it comes out different. And then you go, wait a minute, this is the beginning of artwork for me, because then you process the world and spit it back out and you say, oh, that's art. I shoot it through this prism, which is this dummy over here in the corner. And all the things that you do wrong about when you shoot it back out, that's your style. And then you go, all the things I do wrong make it interesting.
Yeah. Let's go. When you learn you can fly, you're not worried about falling near as much, are you?
That's right. Like a skateboarder, you're going to get hurt.
Yeah.
If you want to skateboard, you're going to eat shit, and that's just it. You're going to break a bone. You're going to skim a knee. You're going to, whether you're rollerblading or skateboarding or in the ocean, you're going to get the gravel dug into your knee, and you just keep going. And that's it. And don't be afraid of making those mistakes, because the mistakes are what are going to they're going to lead you down the path of something interesting. It's
Yeah.
the mistakes that are golden.
Yeah. Now everybody's gonna kill me if I don't ask what position you played in baseball. They're all gonna give me a hard time.
As a youngster, pitcher and shortstop, and then older, I only ended up being 5'6".
Yeah.
This is all of 5'6".
Yeah.
But as a kid, I was even way smaller. So they put me where do they always put the smallest kid?
Right field.
Oh, second base.
Oh yeah, second base. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Second base.
Yeah, yeah. I was a little tiny guy too when I was first started playing baseball. I played baseball much like you. They put me at second base, so I was a tiny guy for sure.
That's it. I mentioned aforementioned Ricky Henderson. I was obsessed with Ricky Henderson and Don Mattingly. So I started hitting lefty. I started drawing lefty. I started brushing my teeth lefty.
Oh wow!
And when I got to first base, I took huge Ricky Henderson leads off first base.
Yeah.
Just the tiniest kid on the team. I was halfway to second, and they would try and pick me off. Never worked.
Yeah.
Stole all the bases.
Yeah. So
was it.
you're a big risk taker then. Is that hold true for your life? Are you a big risk taker?
Well, that can last for a little while. If you're a bachelor, and I was a bachelor in Hoboken,
Yeah.
then you could take all sort of risks when you're like that. But now I'm a dad.
Yeah.
In the leafy, greeny suburbs of New Jersey, and you can't take as many risks.
No, that's true. That's true. Well, you're trying to minimize the risk that your son or your daughter's taking for sure. You're like, oh my god.
Well, no, because then are you a dad?
No, I'm not.
All right. Well, then here's what happens when there's the dad and the mom. The dad is always going, go. You can go out, do that.
Yeah.
Skateboard. You're gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
Go ahead, cross that street. And then the mom always goes, wait. Don't you can't just shove him out the door.
Yeah.
And it's a different era too, because I was just talking to another dad too, and I was saying by 10 I was crossing streets and I was all over town, and he went, yeah, but people didn't have cell phones and drivers were aware of things.
Well, that's
So,
true.
you gotta reel them in.
Yeah, I remember when I was a
take too
kid,
many risks.
bro, we were riding bikes fucking all over the place for days and doing jumps and all kinds of stuff like that. I don't see kids doing that anymore. Do kids do that where you're at? Are they still outside riding bikes, playing, throwing horseshoes and all that? Not so much anymore.
Horseshoes.
I know. I'm just playing.
The hottest game.
The hottest
Right
game. Horseshoes.
Right with
that's
the hoop and the stick.
That's right.
And jacks.
That's right.
I got twosies, baby.
The old school stuff. They're throwing down the dominoes. They're in sixth grade playing bones over there.
That and hearts and spades.
Oh well, that's a different group altogether. That's the that's the
let it ride.
Yeah. That's when they're gonna go to the penitentiary group, the spades and the hearts. You gotta watch out. So then you were younger and you were like, I saw this Batman movie, and then you went to the comic book store. Did you know what you were looking for, or did you just kind of like set off, and did you have somebody guiding you, or did you just bounce around?
Nothing. And I mean, especially when you're, I guess, 10, maybe 10, between 10 and 12, it's sort of when you go from being an undiscerning little kid to a tween, where you start zeroing in on things. And maybe nobody ever fully recognizes things. Because, I mean, I remember growing up once I was in 15 or so and showing my mother, here's Jim Lee.
Yeah.
And here's I don't know, Sal Buscema.
Okay.
Can you see the difference?
Yeah.
Why this is more exciting and this is good, but this isn't as exciting? And she would just, I don't see it. And she loved the arts. My mother brought me up.
Very supportive.
A Roman Catholic Italian lady, high energy in the emotional realm. Loved opera and ballet, and really turned me on to the arts and painting and sculpture. And at the same time, if I showed her a comic, sort of like if you showed her a hat that wasn't cool, or a hat that had some sparkle to it that was really something that was cool, she kind of couldn't see that either. It was one was clean and one was dirty as far as she could tell.
Okay.
And you couldn't go, oh, that one's cool and that one isn't.
Yeah, she's sitting there trying to. I just love the idea of you trying, as a 12 or 13-year-old, explaining the philosophical, visual elements of comic book art to your. No, Mom, you don't get it. This one right here. You see this like contrast between curve and straight. That's what it's all. The line weight. Do you see the cross hatching? Oh, come on, Mom.
And she would just say, like, that mohawk, that looks like a mess. You should get a nice clean cut. That's what looks
Was
good.
she worried about like maybe the influence of the comic books on you? Did she thought that maybe you were going to get a mohawk or something?
Oh no, no, no. She was although she was a conservative Republican, she was a liberal thinker.
Okay.
Very, very, and I could distinguish that. Like, if you talk to something about her that was very abstract and strange,
Okay.
she could follow it.
Okay.
Versus, I don't know, somebody that would vote Democrat or left wing, but if you describe something strange or unusual to them, they couldn't follow it. So they would be, even though they were a liberal voter, they're a conservative thinker. Like
Yeah. Closed minded.
they're on the tracks.
Yeah, I
And the
got you.
tracks lead somewhere. Whereas a liberal thinker can, however they vote, they can go with you into a weird idea or a cool concept. But at the same time, it's hard to show somebody that's not into comics or drawing per se the difference between, I don't know, a 19 John Romita comic or, I don't know, Stephen Platt. There we go. You know Stephen Platt.
Yeah.
There we go. I see a lot of lines. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah. That's the truth. It seems to me that from the visual perspective, people either are really energized by it or they just don't get it at all. And
Yeah.
you can't explain it to them. You can't make them get it. I've trust me. I've tried. I've been there. I've tried that.
Who have you tried with? Who's your example
Well,
of who
like
doesn't
different,
get it?
like
and who gets
different,
it?
like different girls that I've dated or whatever. I come from like a fine arts background. Like I went through kind of a similar situation as you. I drew like all of the manuals from the Nintendo books. I had sketchbooks filled up, Mega Man, Mario, the Looney Tunes, everybody. And then one day, I think my mom took me to a comic book store. I saw like Rip Claw and Wildstorm and those guys. I was like, oh wow! And I wanted to know how to make that on the paper. Like that, like for me, was the magic of how do you take this lines and put that there? Then I could feel the energy. And then I found some Bern Hogarth books, and I was like, "Oh shit! Well, let me reach beyond the comics a little bit and try to get some of these books." And of course, that was way over my head. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I was very resistant at a certain age to go beyond the comic stuff,
Yeah,
and I was very much into draw from reference. Why do I need the reference? You have the reference. But if I make it up, it's going to be totally mine,
yeah,
totally mine. And then I ended up going. I didn't want to, but I ended up going to school for illustration, and they forced us to draw from life.
yeah.
And I'll tell you, the second I drew from life, it was like a two-dimensional world turned into three dimensions, and it was just what? Wait a minute! I was just only making stuff up. But if I look at this harder, this life stuff, this naked person or these fruits and vegetables or
No, the
whatever.
naked people for days, bro. I have drawn good naked and bad naked. I can tell you that.
Oh,
Plenty of
yeah,
bad
yeah.
naked.
Yeah. So, did you do school for the arts?
Yeah, I went to engineering school. Then I had a terrible car accident, and I changed, and I went and I studied in an atelier, and it was a lot of live drawing, live painting. And then I went and I studied with a painter, and how to it is Russian impressionistic painting, and I went that whole track. So I didn't go to get a document. I went to more of an atelier, apprentice kind of mentor style path.
I'm gonna reel my ignorance. I don't know what atelier is.
Oh, atelier is just some French word that means you're gonna go draw naked people. That's all it means.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
that.
Yeah, and fruit and baskets, and it draw from life. You basically it's set up in 3-hour segments for the day. You have like four of those classes that you can go to, but usually people can only handle 3 at the most. That's 9 hours in class drawing and producing. So that's an awful lot. Yeah.
And you mean the good, negative, the bad thing. So like they throw day one, there'd be this gorgeous lady.
Yes.
And she'll be beautiful. And you go,
Fantastic.
let's draw this beautiful lady. Oh, look at that.
You could hear
let's draw
the
that.
heavens open up above you. Just you could hear.
And then the next day, they bring you a fat, round, hairy bowling ball of a man where are they getting the model? He's certainly homeless.
Certainly. Most definitely.
Even if he had shoes, he couldn't tie them because he wouldn't be able to get past his gut to get down there to tie them. And then he turns this way and he leans and it's just all brown eye and the starfish is revealed and you go, all right, draw that. And you go, can I move my chair? This is a nightmare.
Yeah.
And the teacher just says, just draw him.
Yeah.
Draw what you see.
Yeah, it was a very rigid system where they go, no, you have to sit there, you have to draw it. It's not about, you don't get to pick and choose. You got to get good at it all. Yeah, so I've seen the brown stars. I've seen the carpet that goes like not 2 yards, not 4 yards, but all the way up. You know, and you're just kind of like, whoa, bro. You know, and it's like those are the worst for me is the women who still like they take this. You know, they're older, they're more rotund, as they say, and they take that advantage to express their beauty and their divine feminine. And you're just like, oh man, come on. But you know,
I'll even take that. I like that. There was one model we always had. She was this French lady, and you know, typically they wear the robe. And
yeah,
they get on the stage and they disrobe. Then they take their pose, you know, or whatever it is, and then you got 20 minutes. You got 20 minutes to do this. And this lady, she would pose and we'd do her thing. And then when she would leave the stage, most models, they would put their robe back on. This French lady, this old broad, she was so round. She looked like a giant. She looked like just a giant pink baby body. She was all clean shaven, I guess, and just had a bob cut and bangs. And she would walk around and say, "Oh, you are making a very nice. Wait a minute, what have you done? You have made me look very, very terrible. It is not fair how you drew me. I think you ought to be a little bit. This is the model.
yeah,
You're not the teacher, lady. What are you doing?"
yeah.
Then she would come over and "Oh, you made a very nice breast. Thank you for doing that." And then she ended up telling us about how in France they would eat bird's nest soup. Oh, we would love it. Was our favorite bird's nest soup. And we all said, "What the hell is bird's nest soup?" And she said, "You climb the tree, you get out of the tree, the whole bird's nest. It has the 2 eggs in it, the little bird, and you put not just the bird and the eggs in the soup, you put the everything and the nest. The whole nest goes into the bird's nest soup. You know why? What it takes? It tastes so good because it's got the bird's saliva up in the sticks
That's
that
what
held together."
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's only a certain type of nest that they make with the bird spit. Oh,
That's right. She could have called it bird spit soup as far as we were concerned.
Bro,
And we were like, naked lady, put on a robe and get away. We're supposed to just draw you. You're creeping us out.
Well, you gotta like for the people in the chat, you gotta think about this. You got some. And it's always the bad naked people who want to come and they want to chat with you, and then they want to wiggle, and their whole body
Yes.
wiggles, bro. Their whole body wiggles, and like it's like after a while, it's like I've seen enough naked people. That's what people don't get is that you go to a couple of these drawing classes for a couple of semesters or whatever. It's not sexual anymore. It's kind of like, nah, I'm good. I've seen enough naked. You know what I'm saying?
It's like going to a nude beach on the edge of France or something. It's not the people you want to see. It's just there's nothing there for you. Then you could sketch them. They might get offended, but that's not the people you want. It's like life drawing class. It's not the hot chick off the magazine cover. It's a 42-year-old guy with a giant sack and a tiny acorn. And you're just like, dude, you go out and pull it, dude. Come on, just get a little blood flow going. This is embarrassing for me and you.
Yeah,
As a
facts.
guy.
Yeah, it's never that exciting. I mean, like I guess that's a good way to put it. Is that like one's real life art and the other's a comic book art. You know, we always think like when we go out, oh wow, we're gonna see this girl. She's gonna have a great ass. You know, great rack or whatever. And sure the guys are gonna be muscular too, but then you go out there and it's quite the opposite. It's, the live art, the model that eats spit bird soup all the way from France that wants to hit on you, in a roundabout way. And you're kind of like, what the hell is even going on here, bro? It's fucking weird.
Well, that's the thing too, because that comic stuff with I got accused a long time ago, idealizing the form, right?
You're
Well, that's what all
supposed to.
That's what all Greek mythology,
Everything.
Roman statues,
Yes.
idealized.
David, yeah.
David, because the exterior is supposed to tell you something about the character.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, I'm beautiful on the inside. No. If I'm telling you a story and I'm going to show you there's a hero involved in the story, what I'm going to show you is the idealized form because I can't show you his insides
Right.
or her insides. I can show you that the outside is a representation of the inside.
Yeah.
So then I've worked after school and stuff like that. I worked for 23 years in advertising. And I could tell you when it started, it was idealized. I would always draw fashion beauty for Colgate a lot of the times or Coca-Cola or whatever. And when I started, it was make a beautiful lady. And I used to make also commercials for South America where you could draw naked ladies.
Let's go.
It was great. I said, all right,
Incredible.
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 And that's what ladies in the waterfall.
I'm loving it. Yeah.
Everything was gorgeous. And then maybe about 10 years ago, and I would often use my wife as the model. My wife would be saying, all right, pose like this, pose like that. And my wife is drop dead gorgeous.
Stunning.
So
of course.
I would draw her for that right into this spot. And everybody loved it for the first so many years of my career. Then, or maybe 10 years ago, give or take, they started to say, this girl's too pretty. You got to change the girl. And then for the last 5 to 6 years, all I drew, fat black ladies. That was it.
Bro.
Only thing I draw.
Do you still predominantly work in advertising then? Is that
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what do you think that whole shift was all about? And of course, I don't want to say anything that's might put you in jeopardy with your career or anything. I don't want you to, some people say, don't say anything because, I don't want the people at the office to be like, whatever, but.
Well, the people in the office will never see this.
Yeah.
They have no idea what we're doing here.
Okay, good.
Because what happened was I don't know. My only guess would be because I just worked with a ton of people.
Right.
And it ended up just being sort of overeducated people that were robbed of their own senses and slipped under what they should know is going to sell or whatever other thing you could categorize their senses that they should be able to figure out beauty sells was slipped in the code of the colleges or whatever. And they took that into the boardrooms. And I mean, you could see it. Did you ever see the side-by-side? It was maybe a few years ago, it would be the underwear models.
Yes.
And the ladies were all fat.
The Calvin Klein. Yes.
And the guys were all still jacked.
Yes.
And it was like, well, why is it just, all right, it doesn't even make sense. Why are we, and then in the comics, it would be like, oh, Squirrel Girl is this character. And we all went, all right, Squirrel Girl, that's, okay, I can work with that.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing the first drawings of Squirrel Girl, and she was adorable. She was this cute little honey that talks to squirrels. And I think they could sell this comic.
Yeah.
And then within a year, they were like, no, Squirrel Girl's fat. And you go, I can't sell that comic anymore.
Yeah, she's always eating the nut, bro. She's always nut guzzling. That's what's going on with Squirrel Girl. Too much protein, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot of people in the chat giving you a shout out. We got Tank Ferret, we got Chunk Reardon, we got Co-Hiking. They're all
Chuck Reardon, slow down. Toughest name in the world. That is a man's name.
That's a fucking great name.
That man eats steak that he killed with a shotgun and he cooked on a barbecue. Shout out Chuck Reardon's the best.
Yeah, he says it's great to see you on stream again. Yeah, 100%. I've been lurking, thinking about trying how to get Charlie on stream for a minute, and we finally made that happen. So I'm stoked about it, bro. Absolutely excited about it. Now, what would you say that your biggest influences? Is your comic art similar to your advertising art, or do you do a lot of digital in your advertising art? Did you do gouache? Did you do ink? Did you do it traditional back in the day? Talk to me about this. I'm a traditional guy myself.
Back in the day, I was 100% traditional.
Fire.
And I said, I will never, ever use a computer. Use a computer.
Them clankers.
I hate the computers.
That's right.
I remember being in school and like they put me in this cold room with 20 other people and said, now draw on these Macs. And I said, I don't want to touch it back. I don't want to touch a computer. Can I get back to that canvas? I was in a room with a naked lady in the canvas and oil paints. And that's all I want to do. That's it. And then I graduated and started working. And then they said, if you want to make any money, you're going to have to sit at this computer a little bit. And I said, all right. And then that was it. When I started in advertising, it was just all slip trace. I would make a rough sketch, slip tracing, trace, scan it, color it on the computer, put it on the top with the black and white drawing on multiply on top and the layers in Photoshop and then the colors underneath. And I said, I'm only doing this for a little bit until I could get back to canvases.
Facts.
And then that's all I do now.
Well, you do great colors, man. Your colors are fantastic. The colors that I saw on Fatl were wonderful. I got a lot of them downloaded. That's why I was like, wow, you're so good at the line work. You're so good at your line weights as well. You're really good at the representation, and then you're fucking killer at the colors too. So I was like,
I'm a roast. Baste me.
I'm
Just keep it coming.
I'm trying to glaze you, bro. I'm trying to glaze you like a donut. We got D-Wag in the chat. He's giving you a shout out too. He
I love that dude.
yeah, D-Wag's always telling me about, bro, you got to talk to Charlie. You got to get Charlie's artist edition. And I was like, yeah, I know I do. And he's like, oh, I got his artist edition. I was like, D-Wag, why don't you send it to me? He's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm like, I don't blame you, bro. I'd keep it too.
I don't know if they're available now, but I know he was. I remember him from at least 5 years ago or more. What were you doing?
Oh, I was back about that time. I lived on the ocean, on the coast, and
You look like,
yeah.
If you told me, if somebody said, "Hey, draw a dude that lives on the ocean somewhere in California," and I was to draw this concept of the epitome of the dude that lives at the ocean in California, there you are. I would draw you right down to the shock of gray that you got going back there, and the long hair and
yeah, facts.
the mustache.
I surfed all the time, and I recently moved up to the desert about 5 years ago, and I love the desert. I didn't think I would, but it's beautiful. I was a landscape painter, and when the COVID hit, it fucking locked down all the fucking galleries, and it was like, bro, you got to find a new way to make money, son. And I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? So I bounced on the ocean. They were jacking up my rent like crazy. They were like tripling it, bro. Yeah, and during that time they gave a 2-year moratorium on rent, so you didn't have to pay your rent for 2 years. But I knew that was a scam, bro. They ain't never do anything for you for your favor. So I bounced out of there, moved up to the desert, and I've been because I used to do a lot of desert landscapes too. And I absolutely love it at the desert, but I do miss the ocean, but I love the desert quite a bit. And so then I was like, let me see if I can't replace this foot traffic I used to get through the gallery scene. And the only place I could think to do it was online, so I started going online. In fact, the very first online book I ever backed was that ISOM book with the Ripaverse.
Yeah.
And then I got it, and I was like, "What the fuck is this shit? What the fuck is this shit?" And
it was no good.
No, I didn't like it. And
I never seen it. I kind of lost track of things.
Sure, it happens.
I've been off in a different direction.
Yeah,
but tell me, you did gallery stuff?
Yeah.
That was what I always wanted to do.
Yeah.
It worked. Did you make money?
Yeah, I did. I did well. It really, you think it's going to be this one thing, but it's not. It turns out to be this thing that's really based upon the relationship that you have with the gallery people, the gallery owners. They are, there's not a very many conservative, which is, whatever. If you can do cocktail talk, then you're fine.
Yeah.
If you can just be like, oh, how about the Dodgers? Yeah, right. Otani's awesome.
If you're gonna be in the art space, you are going to have to do that.
Exactly.
Not just the cocktail talk, but deal with people. Because, well, let me ask you this: why do the arts not attract conservative brains?
Well, that's a really good question. I think because initially, I think everybody is a bleeding heart when they come out when they're kids. We're all programmed to be bleeding hearts. I would say I went to engineering school initially because when I first went to go see the whole art school, and I was like, yeah, but how do you make money doing this? And they're like, well, you got to kind of figure it out, son. And then I went to the engineering school. I was like, how you make money? They're like, oh, no problem. You got $100,000 coming out of college. No big deal. We got you, dog. 99% placement. So I was like, no brainer. I said, I'll go to engineering school and become an engineer. Then I'll do art on the side. And that it doesn't work that way. It didn't work that way.
I had the same concept in mind. I ended up going to Rutgers as a 17-year-old freshman, thinking I'm going to major in biology, and I'm going to use the illustrations and the biology together, and I'll be a biological illustrator. for doctors and stuff like that, like Grey's Anatomy or whatever you got.
Yeah, Katherine Heigl was hot. I give you that right there.
But a terrible person.
Yeah, terrible person. Great rack, terrible person.
But I remember sitting in that first bio class at Rutgers, and it's a big amphitheater, and it's not a classroom with 20 people, it's hundreds and hundreds of people. And I'm thinking, I'm going here for biology, and I'll pet ferrets and duck-billed platypuses, and I'll figure out what's going on with the tree. And then by the time the first class is over, the lecturer says, who here is pre-med? and 75 to 80% of the class raises their hand. I think, whoa, what? Pre-med? I'm not here for pre-med. And then all the first classes of biology are really all chemistry and the Krebs cycle and
Okay, yeah.
phospholipid bilayers. And I was thinking, whoa, when are we petting the animals and talking about?
Yeah.
No, that's not part of it, dude. So changed tracks pretty soon and went to FIT in Manhattan. But yeah, you think I tried to use engineering, biology, something intellectual, and then combine it with the art, and then you think I can't run at this speed with these smart people. I can paint.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand that completely. I got the engineering degree. I took as many art classes as I could for electives, and everybody that I took an art class with, they thought I was in the program. And I was like, no, I'm an engineer. Then the professors would stop talking to me because I wasn't in their program.
Wait, in the program? Like you're going to be a CIA agent?
Oh, no, not that program, but like the art program or like, something like that. But
a trained assassin.
Yeah, right. Yeah, assassin with the pencil.
An assassin of hearts.
Yeah, I was trying to do that. I was trying to knock a couple of girls, back then too, trying to assassinate the heart a little bit, bro. Why not? Why not, right? But then I got into the whole engineering gig, got a job with a defense contractor, and bro, it fucking sucks up all your time.
Oh, wait, defense contractor?
Yeah.
Did you have one of those little readouts that unlocked the website for you so you could go on from remote?
No, I didn't. I had a clearance, but I didn't have one of those readout things. And everybody would ask me, well, what kind of secrets do you know? What kind of? And I'm like, bro, it's about transistors and resistors and capacitors. And you don't want to know any of that. It's about multiplexers, bro. You don't give a fuck about. It's about the algorithm I just program using C, programming language. What the fuck you care about that shit?
They were like, tell me your exciting circuit. And 20 minutes into you explain it, they're like,
exactly, bro. And then conversely at the other end, right? So I'm at work. I'm the youngest guy there. Everybody else is like in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they're all gathering around me, asking me what the fuck I did during the weekend. Who did I go out with? Show me. Do you have show me a picture of who you went out with? And I'm thinking, is this where I want to be in 20 years? Like asking the new kid, like, are you getting any pussy? I'm like, what the hell? So, I was just like, oh, bro, I had to rethink some things. And then I got in a really bad car wreck, and that kind of solidified it for me. And I was out for like 2 years in rehab and all that shit. And so I came back as an artist after that.
Whoa, that seems like it would have gone the other way.
Yeah.
Because like, if you're the artist, you got to use your hands and stuff. So what went wrong? First of all, how did the accident happen? Was it your fault?
No, I wasn't even driving. I was in the car. I was on a surf trip down in Costa Rica. Okay. It was my brother and I. All right. And
a lot of crazy car accidents start that way. I was in Costa Rica.
Yeah. Right. Well, I found out the highway we were on, which wasn't a highway. It was just one lane going this way, one lane coming this way. It was called the Highway of Death. That's what the locals called it.
What could possibly go wrong?
Because so many car accidents. Anyway, we were cutting through the jungle, going to another surf spot, and a fucking big rig was avoiding potholes, and it had come into our lane, and we were driving, and we were in the middle of the jungle, so the trees were super thick on both sides of the road, and they went like 3 stories high. And my brother swerved to avoid the truck, and then it hit a tree, and then knocked us into a concrete buttress on a bridge. And it was all on my side and fucking destroyed and pushed the engine, dropped it on my femur and destroyed like 6 inches of it, pulverized it, bro. It doesn't
destroyed femur?
Destroyed my femur, pulverized it. I had a severe fracture, 6 inches of it. It was in like maybe like 10 pieces, no less than 10 pieces, bro. It looked like an ice machine from a hotel just dumped it into my pants, bro. So then, yeah, it was terrible. So then, it's a huge long story, but shorten it up a little bit. It was a 12-hour drive from a van out of the mountains down to a hospital. Right, the hospital was a socialized medicine hospital where they take all of the Costa Rican people. They rolled me in there. The doctor spoke English, and it was like a fucking MASH hotel. I'm not even kidding. He had like 6 beds around him. They all had like the operating lights above them. And he came over to me. He's like, "Oh, you an American?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm an American." He's like, "Well, your leg's pretty fucked up bad right there, buddy." And I was like, "Yeah, no shit." And they had given me no drugs by this time. My body was still in shock.
Wait, so were you weren't writhing in pain? You were in shock?
I was in complete shock. My right leg had swollen up to the size of a watermelon compared to my left leg.
God damn.
Yeah, it was, and I was very lucky he didn't hit a femoral artery. Let's put it that way, and because my ass would have been toast right then and there.
Nice.
And so he said, "Well, best thing we could do is we can wrap your leg in wire and hope for the best." I was like, "Nah, we ain't doing that." He's like, "Okay, well, we're gonna have to amputate your leg then." I said, "Nah, we ain't doing that neither." And he said, "Well, I don't know what else we could do for you." And I said, "Well, I got to find something else." And so I'm like talking to the guy, and I'm like going through this, and then they made me sign a discharge paper, and they took the gurney and they wheeled me out into the parking lot. Yeah, wheeled my ass out in the parking lot. So my brother was with me. He flagged down somebody. I don't know who he flagged down, but the guy ended up having a brother that worked for a private hospital there. He called the guy that worked at the private hospital. The guy dispatched a real ambulance to come get me. They asked me if I had insurance and 5,000 liquid right then and there, and I said yes to both because I had fucking amazing insurance, bro. And I mean, I easily had 5,000 liquid. And so then they took me in a real hospital. I ended up they wheeled me in this is like at 2 a.m. by this time. The accident happened at 7 a.m. in the previous morning. So it's been a full fucking day. They wheeled me in, and the surgeon came out to meet me. He was in a suit, bro. He was in a fucking suit. He had just gotten back from being he was a sports doctor for the football team, the Cincinnati the Browns.
Bengals.
No, was it the Bengals? Yeah, the Browns. The Bengals. The Bengals.
Whatever.
The Cincinnati. Cleveland. No, it's Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns. Sorry.
Okay.
And so then they fixed me right up. They stuck a titanium rod down my leg, packed it up, blah, blah, blah. And then put me on a plane 7 days later to fly home. When I got home, my orthopedic surgeon, who I didn't know before then, obviously, because I didn't have one, but I have one now. I showed up. He fucking went like insane on me that I would fly with that much damage to my my leg and those femoral arteries. He said I could have an embolism at any second. Jeez. And I was lucky I didn't die. On the flight home, there was somebody in our plane that was driving behind us that saw us crash. And they told us about the car crash. Yeah. There was another group of Americans that were there, and they said that our truck, we were driving in a diesel Toyota, okay? Toyota truck, 4x4. And they said that son of a bitch like flew up 6 feet up in the air, did a full rotation before it came down in the middle of the highway. And yeah, and then
Christ.
Yeah, and the fucking big rig just kept going like it was nobody's business. All the Costa Ricans ran out and started to take my shit, bro. There was an American that happened by in a big lifted Dodge Ram. He's like a fucking.
Wait a minute. The first thing that didn't happen was that they helped you.
No,
they just took stuff.
Bro, check this out. Okay, so they tried to steal all my shit. The American pulled up, and I had surfboards. Like I don't know if you know about surfboards, but they could be $600 to $1,000 a pop, bro. I had a whole fucking quiver of them. My brother had some too. I had all my camera equipment because I was shooting, cool surf pictures, all that good stuff. And he comes up, he takes care of it, and he says, "Give me your shit, or it's going to be gone." And I said, "Okay, you can have my shit." He said, "Here's my phone number. Call me in 3 days." I called him. He brought me all my shit. I was like, "Fucking God bless you, bro."
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, somebody got it.
Yeah. But what I learned was that the Costa Ricans that brought me down there, when I got to the hospital, the real hospital, SEMA Hospital, down in I forget what the name of the town was, but a SEMA Hospital is the hospital I went to. It's a sister of Baylor Hospital in Texas, and so it's a teaching university. But they said, why didn't you just get the helicopter? And I said, helicopter? These motherfuckers drove me down in a fucking MASH 4077 van, bro. And they were like, oh, because they wanted to get paid $20 because they get $20 for every person they bring in. And I was like, I would have paid those motherfuckers fucking $100 just to call the helicopter for me, man. What the fuck is wrong? What the fuck is wrong with these people? So anyway,
that is bonkers. So your hands weren't hurt. Your femur was hurt.
My femur was destroyed. Yeah. And so,
can you walk properly today?
Today, I can walk fine. It took me 2 years to go through all the rehab and the muscle rebuilding, and you have to have more surgeries to take the metal out and all that stuff. And So when I did that, I was like, I ain't going back to do the engineering thing. Life's too short. I'm on bonus time as it is now anyway. I'm gonna start going to school. I want to do this art thing, man. And then so that's when I launched into it. Right then and there. Yeah.
Nice. Total redirection. based
Total
on an
redirection.
Insane event.
Insane event. Yeah. Insane event.
Lucky.
Bro. Yeah. Yeah. I'm lucky to be
Unlucky,
alive.
but lucky.
I'm lucky to be alive. I'm thankful. It was it was like a silver lining, one of those kind of things, right? Like I'm happy to be where I am now because I envision where I could be. I could be like one of those bald, those guys that going bald in the back asking me where the hell the women are, around the water cooler and having those tame jokes. You know about corporate jokes and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
I've been there. I was there.
Yeah.
I was in that realm for years and years. I was in the studio every day.
Yeah.
With dealing with HR and stuff like that. And then I lived in Hoboken and then proceeded to sort of just work from home.
Yeah.
They offered me a studio position, and I said, how about I just stay home and pay me from there?
And they were cool. They were cool. How long ago was that? I mean, because like
that was 2006.
Okay, so that was well before the whole COVID thing with everybody work from home. You were kind of like the work from home pioneer.
Yes, and then around 2007 and 2008, I would speak to people through emails or phone calls and say, we could all do this based on the email ability and telephone calls.
Yeah.
Why are you guys going? If so many people, I would say, why are you doing this? And they would say, I like to be at work around people.
Yeah.
And I would have say, wouldn't you rather be home around your neighborhood?
Yeah.
And just work there. So I was well practiced. When everything locked down in 2020 spring, I've been doing that for 15 years.
You're like, this is old hat right here.
It's like you'll get used to it. It's fine.
Yeah, I wondered about that a lot too. And then in 2020, when everybody went to go work from home, and then they brought them back in 2024 because of the commercial real estate market, that's when the light bulb went on for me. That's how they keep the corporate investments and their assets appreciating instead of depreciating on their portfolio, is to keep that office space filled and in demand. Otherwise, it's going to go to shit.
That, and plus, I mean, everybody might not be like us who likes to concentrate on what you're doing. Other people, if they're home, they'll just watch TV.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times I try and not do too much Twitter.
Yeah.
Because that shit is fucking distracting.
It do be.
It is so distracting.
Yeah.
I posted something. Did anybody like it?
Oh,
Am I liked?
Did that motherfucker just fucking diss me, man? We're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna burn this guy. Yeah. No, facts.
It's so distracting. I mean, you could spend the whole day doing that.
Yeah.
Instead of drawing something that's cool.
Yeah.
And I'd always rather draw something cool and then just, I don't know, I like going on there and interacting, but at the same time, I'd rather draw.
Yeah.
Or drop it all and go outside and play soccer or throw to the kids or play guitar and have a drink. That's all way better. And I don't ever need to touch the phone.
100% agree. But you're right. It is the Pareto principle. I think only about 10 to 15% of the workforce actually works. The rest are a bunch of women that send emails and tell you what you can't do and who you can't hit on. It's like we were talking about Patrice O'Neill earlier. It's like, bro, I come in like a grizzly bear. All I see is salmon dripping in honey. And you're going to tell me I can't fucking say nice titty meat? Like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying?
I can't say, my kids might be still awake. So you can say that. And I'll just say, I translated, I think what you're talking about to my kids, which is just throw bricks. You watched Patrice?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Black Phillip, Beige Phillip.
Oh yeah.
Throw bricks.
Yeah, all day.
Not only that, but that translates to artwork, which is prove to everybody that you're terrible. Step one, prove to that you're terrible, because a lot of people get up in their heads and they say, if I'm not making the perfect drawing, if I'm not making the perfect painting, if I'm not telling the perfect story, I'm going to stop it down and I'm going to go back till I make it perfect. No. Go out, do a terrible job. So the first time I did this book, the first time around Fatl that I had creative control over, it was just, no, just tell the simplest story. Yeah, he's a jerk.
Yeah.
And he wants to meet two hot chicks. And that's it. That's the story. That's the impetus for it. And the little secret of the book, the first time around, was he's essentially Spaceman Spiff.
Yes, but grown up.
Yes, he's the adult version of Space
The,
Jam.
yeah, the R-rated
with,
version.
with Han Solo and I don't know what else. He's in debt. That's the whole thing, and he's waiting around to get down into that planet. And on the planet is the girl that looks up at the window at his spaceship and goes, "Oh, I want to do that. Why am I trapped in this tower castle, Rapunzel?" And she goes, "I want to get up there." So all the things that made me start, I didn't make it alone, but I started the characters and the situations on my own. And it was the Rapunzel in the castle, the princess in the castle, who wants to get out and have an adventure.
Yeah.
And a ton of it came as as far as the process of quote unquote creative was I was reading. If you have kids,
Yes.
it reinvigorates the brain. Suddenly you go, all right. So for years I've just been working for money. That's what I'm doing. And then when I had kids, I went, well, what do I really like? So when my son came along, he looked just like Cupid,
Yes.
and I would draw February 17th or whatever. I drew him as Cupid and went, "Happy Valentine's Day, I love you, baby." And I drew our son as Cupid. And then after that, I thought that was fun
Yeah.
to draw this cartoon version of it, and it totally sucked me back into drawing comics and cartoons, and that I became interested again. And then as they were little kids, I would read to them. I would read Brothers Grimm. And one of the first things after reading those things and reading all that fine language, and I ended up back in the workforce, actually in the studio again for the first time around 2018. And I went, oh my goodness, I was listening to people speak. This is sort of a branch topic that you probably might enjoy, which was I would listen to people talking. I went, oh my God, everybody says like all the time. Oh, I was like totally like over here and like here, then I like went over there like, and I was thinking, how long have I been working from home? Because all the guys sound like ladies,
Yeah.
and I think I do too. I think I overuse that word as well. And then so I tried to say I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm going to speak. If I want to say what something is,
Yeah.
I'm going to say what it is
Say what it is. Yeah.
instead of what it's like.
Yeah.
And so I was a bit of a hard ass about the kids around that. And my son still, when he hears anybody say like, he's 11 now. He goes, "Don't say like.
Yeah.
Say what it is." And I'm like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
See, I just said it. I was like, talk like a man. Tell them what you really mean.
Be direct.
Not like what
Be
you mean.
direct. Yeah.
So we because of the bedtime stories I was reading them, the language is beautiful. The Brothers Grimm, the real original Brothers Grimm.
Yes.
It really. And then I started reading. Do you know who John Byrne is?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
We were reading that along with fairy tales, and just tonight we started reading Spawn.
No, let's go. Let's go.
He's old enough.
Yeah.
I said, I've been hiding this from you because this is a little different.
That's awesome. That's fantastic, man.
You're 11. You're almost 12.
A
We can
rite
read
of
this
passage right there. That's brilliant. Yeah.
So now we're reading Wildcats, and wait a minute, down here at the table. This is next,
Oh, darker image. Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
and he our all praises and rest in peace, Sam Keith.
Sam Keith, 100%. The Max. Yeah. Totally love
So
that.
we'll
guy.
read that. We'll read that next. But so getting back to it, so reading all the fairy tales plus this sci-fi and John Byrne sort of swirled together. And as I was sitting here, I concocted this story and I reached out to Clint Stoker,
Yeah.
an amazing person, a great writer, a fine fellow, and a
Yeah.
human being. And sort of gave him these, as far as creative process, I had pieces of things. Sort of, I said, I have this character and he's here. And then I have these two girl characters and they're over here. And I want this to happen where they combine. But because I'm not a writer, I just said,
Yeah.
I don't know how to get this from here to there. And he essentially provided, well, here's this. What if he's a blue collar worker and
Yeah.
he's just going to work and they're going to spy at him from there. And then we worked on the plot together and that was it. We were off to the races. And
Yeah.
we worked out the plot, and then I, in a sort of old Jack Kirby way, Stanley always gets all the credit. Jack Kirby
Yeah, Jack motherfucking Kirby.
drew everything out, the king, and then here, write what you want on it.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't care what words are here. I just want to. I'm not here. I want to draw this picture.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. This is what turns me around.
yeah. And I got a little bit of your art here. I'm pulling it up too. Just fantastic artwork. It just yells and screams off the page. The line weight, the silhouettes, the darks, the texture. You know, just even the fluency of the figures, their gestures, and the just the way that they come together. It's very, very fantastic work. I'm sure you hear that all the time, bro. That, and you have like a 12-foot cock and all that good stuff too. I'm sure you're hearing all that good stuff, but it's fantastic. And for anybody who is not aware of Fatl and what it is as a comic book,
go back down again. I know you're looking at Fatl, but go back down again. This not that way, the other way. That piece did not get any attention. I did that for Coal King.
Yeah.
Do you know Coal King?
No, I don't know Coal King.
He commissioned me to do this piece. I posted it. I think 12 people liked it. I thought, geez, normally people like when I draw ladies.
Yeah.
And he's got a really cool book called something Stars. And that cube down in the corner, that purple cube, is where this lady's soul is imprisoned.
Oh, okay.
And this body, this gorgeous body over here that's covered up slightly by the sheets and the undulations, that's not her. That's just her body, the vessel, he was calling
Oh,
it.
yeah, okay. Like the vessel, the vehicle.
But so her soul is contained within that cube, and her body, with all of its carnal enjoyment, is separated from it. And it seems like he's got a really cool story. I just want to shout out to him, Coal King.
Yeah, Coal King. Yeah, well, I'll definitely promote that. That's awesome. That's one of my side projects, is to give the guys some shine, bro. We need shine out here. One thing I love about this piece, I love how you made it a little bit of that Dutch angle, a little bit, but especially the nipples coming through. On
very subtle.
I love that. Yeah, 100%.
My kids, my 11-year-old and my 9-year-old girl, my 11-year-old boy and 9-year-old girl were looking over my shoulder saying, "What are you drawing?
Yeah,
why is she doing that?" I said, "I don't know. That's just what's happening,
bro." I serve my patrons. That's what I do.
I serve a higher power. That's what I'm doing.
Now,
the antenna is up, and it's up for whatever comes down from the heavens.
Are these, like this one right here? Is this one like done digitally? I just love how it looks like the marker's sometimes darker and sometimes lighter in the shadows. Or is that like a digital brush, or is that an actual marker?
Digital brush. I used to use these all the time. These
Okay, yeah.
these pocket brushes.
Yeah.
I used to use those a lot, but it's too much to scan and take all that time. Now everything's just right on there, and then if I'm drawing advertising, I can't draw anything like this anymore. Everything's got to look real. So when I get to do this, it's an indulgence. It's so much fun to
fantastic.
Make.
Yeah.
To drive up the shapes, make them cartoony caricatures, and
the mouth shape right here and the eye shapes are tremendous. Those are fantastic.
Thank you. I love it. I take a lot of time to do that. I appreciate that. You see what's going on.
No, you got a great shape language. I know that we're probably speaking a little bit of artistic vocabulary here, but you have a fantastic shape language. Noticed it right away. You got great anatomy. You put it together, great gestural. It really reflects like an organized training that you had, and a great process. I want to ask you about that here in a minute. Your process. Go on.
Mention all the training is. There's a certain amount of training. Oh, don't look at that one. Get rid of that one.
Get rid of that one. Okay.
That one on the left.
Yeah.
That was a preliminary.
Okay.
What ended up being in the book is not what ended up there.
Yeah. Oh, this is this right here this is one of my favorites. I'm not this video, but this illustration that you did.
I did for Malin.
Of
that's
the
for
pool
John
scene.
Malin's
the pool scene.
Yeah, that's an AI bastardization right there.
Yeah. That's not but the actual drawing. I didn't know it was from Malin, but I love it. That was one of my favorite illustrations that I've seen from you. Is that
John Malin is such a good designer, such a great artist. Do you know his the logo for his book?
Yeah.
Graveyard Shift. It's a skull, but the design is so good on it. My kids, so this is 5 years. The 5-year-old or the 6-year-old came over and said, "This is cool and mean." And I went, "That's bullseye as far as design goes. That's Malin."
Yeah,
This is
Malin's great. Yeah, John's fantastic. Yeah, he's
we
exceptional.
got some flack for calling it FATL Fatal because it's Flynn's logistics and alien termination logistics, whatever. So we could have just wrote FATAL.
Yeah.
But as we plotted out the story, we wanted him to be able to hold up this card and dial 1-800-GET-FATAL.
Yeah.
So the final FATL had to be 4 letters.
Yeah.
And to me, this was sort of fun to have the character not breaking the fourth wall, but he's live streaming.
Yeah.
He's doing this commercial in the book. He's just showed the viewer that he's killed all these wicked, strange aliens. And then after he's killed all the aliens, he turns to the camera and says, "You got a problem? 1-800-GET-FATAL." Just like 1-800-MATTRES.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that so many, action heroes, like one of my favorites is Bruce Willis, have that comedic element present. It's just below the surface, but it pops up every now and then. I think it makes such a good foil or counterpoint to the violence, and I fucking absolutely love that kind of stuff. So
there's got to be comedy.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious. Yeah.
I need funny. Clint wrote very funny things too as we went. That's the preliminary shot where he's hanging in. That's page 1.
Great collars, by the way. Fantastic collars. Absolutely, absolutely love it. Really jumps off the page, and even the work that you did with the focal point being the brightest point with the darkest point right next to a silhouette of his face, with the stars behind him to draw the viewer in, and then launch it in this spiral pattern around, trying to search out new things and find more answers as to what's going on. Great job.
Thank you. Yeah. If you zoom in, you see exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
The brightest spot in the middle is where his cigarette is.
Yeah.
And so the silhouette of the cigarette is right against the brightest spot.
Yeah.
And he smokes.
Everybody should. All the heroes should really good, and it has like kind of a translucent feel to it, even though it's not translucent. But it looks fantastic.
I colored it that way. His boots aren't actually pink. That's lighting
like a reflection. Yeah, but it looks great though. I mean, it looks fantastic.
I follow just for all the training that you get. There's sort of I'm gonna move everything around so it best suits the moment.
Yeah.
Sort of like you ever see the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
So when they're handcuffed together, he and the main guy, and then he pulls his hand
out of the handcuff.
And he says, "You mean you could have done that any time?" And Roger Rabbit says, "Only when it was funny."
Yeah.
To me, there's a really rubbery component. If we're gonna, I don't need to be 100% realistic. I want to stretch and pull every second of this so it's really suits the second to exactly what we need.
No, you're exactly right. And rules are made to be followed until they're made to be broken.
That's right.
Follow them until it's time to break them. I completely agree with that.
This one I made. This is promo for number 2. I don't know if it could be a cover. I don't know. I'm toying with the idea, but we're also toying with the idea of making Moxie Rocket the title. It's a much jumpier title than Fatal.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of that Clark Kent, Peter Parker, Moxie Rocket feeling to it.
Yeah.
Not only that, this may sound weird, but after drawing these characters for that long,
yeah,
it takes a while to get a handle on a character. And they start to look. Whether you're looking at Jack Kirby, he's drawing Galactus in the Fantastic Four, and the first time Galactus appears, he drew a big G on his chest, like we would mistake Galactus for somebody else.
Yeah, there's another guy out there. Yeah,
that's right. There's somebody else that has
eating galaxies.
Horns coming over. Yeah. So he had to get a handle on them too, and far be it for me to be even near what he was doing, or Bill Watterson when he was drawing Calvin and Hobbes, the first
Spaceman Smith.
Several years of Bill Watterson, Calvin and Hobbes didn't quite look like Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah, I do know that.
And when I drew this sort of as a primer, as I was understanding what's going to happen in the second book, I feel like I got a better handle on these guys. And if you even look, don't tell anybody, but they look different in the beginning of the book
Yeah.
than they do at the end of the book.
Yeah.
That hair.
I
on the
love that
woman-
hair on that chick in the purple, and I love the stripes that go all the way into her hair. Fantastic.
That's Kit Clawhammer. Her
Yeah.
hair got longer and longer with every panel of the first issue.
I love it. It's great. Yeah. Yeah.
And he got sort of slouchier and slouchier, and then he got a trench coat and he was bent over. And it sort of seemed like as you're I let the story tell me what it was going to be as we went.
Yeah.
And I let the characters tell me what they were going to be as I went. That sounds super artsy, but it's just true. If you just keep letting them become what they're going to be, then that's it. You follow. If you got antennas and you let the antennas just receive what's coming down, follow it wherever it is, and don't even try and understand it. Just let it be what it is.
Okay, so that brings up to another good point, which I wanted to ask you about is what is your thought on what is creativity? Like, what do you think creativity is? You were just talking about it, how you receive information. I'm a firm believer in that. But if you were to explain creativity to somebody else, how would you do that? How would you say, creativity is like this or it's like that? What's your take on it?
I would say own a craft. Hone a craft, I think is the word. Is the way I'm trying. Not own it. OWN. Hone a craft.
Yeah, hone it.
And then you get better and better at it. And then the better you get at it, the more you maybe appreciate how hard it is. The same way, like somebody who's beginning to understand mechanics or engineering, you'd say to them, "Can you fix a toaster?"
Yeah.
And they would say, "Sure." But somebody that fixes toasters would say, "Oh man, I've been fixing toasters for years, and they're all different. I can't just fix any toaster. Toasters are difficult."
Yeah.
Where somebody who hasn't spent years fixing toasters would say it's easy.
Yeah.
I'll extend it to roofers. Roofing's hard, and to be a good roofer is even different than when you start I can hammer shingles in. All right, but have you encountered every problem that a roofer's going to encounter? Do you know 6 off schedule from 6 on center on schedule? All these things come up when you understand something, and understanding something is the beginning of being artistic with it. So, I could come at it another way and say, right behind me is Pablo Picasso's painting of the musicians. Before he ever did that, he spent years and years and years and years just doing life drawings and straight up paintings, and then became an impeccable draftsman. And that's what engineering is, the beginning of understanding something, and then to study something is the beginning of the process of understanding something, and then to be creative with it. I feel like that comes as you understand something and you free yourself a little from the rules because you understand it so well.
Well, just a second, real quick. I had a little audio glitch that I have to fix real quick. It'll just take 2 seconds. It happens every once in a while. All right, you're back.
No problem. Where did I drop out?
Just like 5 seconds before that.
All right. So when you get to finally have a grasp of something,
Yes, right there.
you start to understand it, and you can just like bing bang shoot back out through your prism, and now you've got something else. You've got something of creativity. But at the same time, I'm going to totally argue with myself.
Okay, hit me with it. Yeah.
Say, you could be. Sometimes I look back at something I did years ago and say,
How did I do that?
I don't think I could do that.
How did I
yet.
do that? Yeah.
Like I've lost
Something.
a certain amount of youthful swagger,
Okay.
of brashness, of just being totally ignorant and doing it without knowing the rules. And you make something else that way too. So it's hard to pin down. But I would say don't be scared
Yeah.
of following the scent where it leads you,
Yeah.
and let your instincts guide you. So I'm much more of an instinct than a process person.
Okay.
And I would say I would rather be a process person. Is process.
Yeah.
I know my process so well that it's set up, practice, figure out the idea, execute.
Yeah.
And then if your process is that good, the execution's like falling off a log.
Yeah.
You're just, oh, all right, I'm here all the time. I do it nonstop. I feel like Jim Lee is that.
Yeah.
It's just like he's so precise and good. The process just takes in there every time. Where for me, it's a little more of a struggle, and I'm gonna push and pull a little bit more to please myself.
Yeah. Because you definitely, when I look at your artwork, it seems very refined. Like there's a really solid process underneath it. Is the actual execution? Do you have a process for that, or do you kind of you've been around that block so many times that you kind of don't follow a process anymore? What would you say about that?
Why? Because I have several processes.
Okay, so then you do have
several processes.
So then you are a very process oriented person to the point where you have specialized processes for different situations.
Well, I have different outcomes that
Right.
I'm looking for. So I spent 23 years in advertising artwork, and they want storyboard, make it match from the beginning to end, aim at photographic stuff. Whereas when I started, cartoons were fine.
Yeah.
Whereas when I'm making a comic, I have a whole different outcome that I'm looking for. And I want it because all that time I was drawing all those storyboards and stuff for advertising, and we're answering to pharmaceutical companies when we're doing that.
Sure.
So they have an outcome with legal.
Very regimented.
The legal team has to look at it, and then they'll come back and say, change all this. Whereas when I
make
started,
the
I would
tits
say,
smaller. Yeah.
that was always the request. But when you start, there's this too. This would go advice for anybody in almost any field. When they say change this, change that, and change that, and I say, I'm an artist of impeccable shit, the word just dropped out of my head. Integrity.
Yes.
You can't make me change my artwork.
Right.
I made great artwork for you. I'm not changing shit.
Yeah, it's my soul.
But
yeah.
Right. My soul's on this paper.
Yeah.
And they say, well, change your soul, asshole.
Yeah.
We're not paying you for your soul.
Right.
We have an outcome we want. And what you got to do is change it. That's they're paying you, change it. Which makes it a very different creative process whether it's your comic book is for Marvel and they ask you to change it, or your storyboard is for Coca-Cola or Tremfya for fat people trying to lose weight.
Yeah, Ozempic. Yeah, I'm sure you're doing a lot of those. That's incredible.
The last 3 years, that's all I've been
doing. Jesus Christ.
Fat people losing weight.
Oh, man.
But because all the reference I collected for the first 20 years of my life was hot ladies washing their bodies.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to draw. I got to find back Good Times. Who was the waitress in Good Times?
Yeah.
Cheryl.
Yeah.
I'm just drawing Cheryl from Good Times. So the process for that remains. If you can draw your thing that you've put your heart into and then change it for somebody at a dime's notice, that's an important part of the creative process because you're not always working alone.
Yeah.
Right.
No, and also you as a master, you have to be able to do that. You have to be able to give the product that's desired. And not every product is going to be a banger or going to be some sort of soul amplifier. You're not going to go commune with the heavens on every project. Even what was it? I saw Biggie. He said, "I have to put out two bangers for the radio so I can put the other 12 on the CD or on the album or whatever."
But everybody feels like they're up against that at some point. Like, oh, I got to satisfy the man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
You do.
You have to. Yeah.
You want to sell something?
Yeah.
Then it can't just be the most meaningful thing to you of all time.
Yeah.
Try and put the most meaningful thing of you of all time into the thing that sells.
Yeah. Yeah.
That might be my best explanation. So if I do have to draw a fat lady, make her awesome. Make her great.
Exactly.
Make her sexy.
Yeah.
She's out there.
Yeah.
She's out there and she does look good.
Yeah. I seen her out there, bro. I seen her dancing. I think she tried to hit on me last week and I said, no, thanks, but I'll cruise back by.
Too much jelly for you?
Yeah, too much glaze. I need my donut a little less glaze on that donut, a little less cream filled. Do you get a wide berth of latitude or creativity within some of your jobs? I imagine some of them have variable constraints. How is that?
For the advertising, very little.
Very little. That's what I would have thought.
They'll give me a script for 10 or 20 frames, and then they'll say, hey, interpret it as you like.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when a lot of art directors would ask for that, I would say, no.
Yeah. What do you really want? Yeah.
What do you want? What does the client want?
Yeah.
Don't send me down the primrose path where I'm coming back at you with some stuff that's going to be ridiculous that's not for your needs. So you understand the job and understand what's needed. So, I mean, that's like the opposite. That's why I love so much to make a comic,
Yeah.
especially a comic. I'm off on my own on this. I mean, now I'm not even making this one with Clint. I'm just off on my own. I'm freebirding up and down. I'm 20 pages in. I drew what I thought was a cover today, but I don't think it's a cover now. I think it's page 30 or something.
Nice.
So I mean, it goes that far where, like I was saying, I like to make these events and then put them together.
Okay.
And I'm more of a loose-minded retard
Yeah.
than other people who are much more orderly. And now I'm gonna just try and do this all by my onesies.
Yeah.
And
fine.
and that the creative process is just gonna be nobody with me. So I mean, sometimes a totally blank tabula rasa, totally tabula rasa, is that scary or is that fun?
Yeah.
Sometimes, a lot of times as artists we'll go, the totally blank page with no direction, that's scary.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But don't be scared of that. Just start. I've never said, I have writer's block or drawer's block or something.
Yeah.
The world is so vast. Just go.
Yeah.
And one of the best advices I ever heard was, Dan Harmon.
Yeah.
Father of Rick and Morty, Community.
Oh yeah. Fucking love
And
Rick and yeah.
He loves the hero's journey.
Yeah.
The hero's journey, the Joseph Campbell hero's journey. It was him that I would always hear say, step one, convince him you're terrible.
yeah, then you're free.
Convince him
then you're free.
You're totally free.
Yeah.
You don't ever have to try and be perfect, and you're not going to be perfect. So just convince him you're terrible, put it on the page, go to page 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I look at my kids are so interested because kids, my son is an organized thinker. He can memorize things and he wants to do it the right way. And he gets spooked by, I want to do it right. And I say, just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
My daughter's a little freedom jazz dancer.
Yeah.
It's just
no
all
problem.
tossed out, random nonsense. She just tosses it out. It's awesome. And it's nature or nurture.
Yeah.
Brought them up the same.
Yeah.
Totally different nature.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
And I could say it's a life lesson too, because they're both sort of essential parts of the arts.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to create something? Well, sometimes you just got to let it splatter on the page.
Yeah.
And then you got to organize it somehow, because you can't just be everybody likes Jackson Pollock.
Yeah.
But we all know, have we all heard Jackson Pollock was a psyop?
100%.
It was a psyop to degrade the morality of the Russians when they saw art coming out of America and said, what the fuck is it? This is nonsense. What are they doing? Yeah. It was part of the space program and CIA to inflate that nonsense.
Yeah. Yep.
Why is that demoralizing? Because it doesn't mean anything. And I don't know what essentially that means as far as arts go. But I remember being a young art student and going to the museum where there was a big Jackson Pollock show. And you see the big one and it's got the splatter and the cigarette butts in it. And you think, I'm not seeing it yet. And then we went into the room where his actual draftsmanship and drawings were, and we all laughed at him.
Yeah.
Like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
You can't draw a simple human?
Yeah.
Well, we know why you're doing this.
Yeah.
This is when we would see his art, we wouldn't say, well, this is the brilliance of a future thinker. We would say this is a frustrated alcoholic who was in a car accident.
Right.
That's what I see on this thing. That's all.
No, I agree with you 100%. And like one of the things about Jackson Pollock that I recognized early, it was that where are the other people that come up in the same breath or the same vein or the same discipline making the same kind of careers? They don't exist. They're going off in all these other, and then before you know it, that's used like a money laundering token, for the fine arts. And I'm sure you're aware of how that's a big fucking game in the fine arts. 100%.
Oh my God, it is 100% laundering. Although I have to say, I don't know if it was a laundry stream. we've been talking so long. My AirPods are dying.
Are they dying? Oh, if we have to cut it short or whatever, no.
Hang on, wait a minute. I might go raw dog in the room.
Just turn it up in the room. Yeah. Bro, I mean these kind of things, they happen, bro. We're just we're doing it live right now, ladies and gentlemen. We're making it happen.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. Fuck that shit.
Oh,
We'll
I
do
can
it
barely
live.
hear you now. Wait, let me see if I have another set.
All right, check it out. See if you got another set. If not, no big deal. I don't want to put you through any pain or any misery or anything like that. But it's been a tremendous conversation thus far. Very fun.
Trying to open the other one.
Oh, fantastic. Let's go. It's like another
Come
pack,
on, baby.
another pack of smokes ready to go right there. Boom. A little fresh pack right there. Let's go. I think, let's see here. Did they turn on? Did you freeze? I think you froze for a second. Oh, you might be trying to, there you are. You're back. All right. Fantastic. You're back.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah. Can you hear me? Are we good?
Going.
All right.
Yeah. Is that just a matter of Pollock was a psyop?
It was a psyop. It was 100% a psyop. And it was also a money laundering. They were like the NFTs or the tokens before there were tokens. A lot of fine art is even held that way today, that they use as markers worth hundreds of millions of dollars to trade between elite families and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you're into that background kind of stuff or that conspiracy. People want to say the art bell, coast to coast. We were talking about that a little bit.
Well, I am a layman in all things except for drawing. So, tease, because they were such a big thing a few years ago. Were they a psyop too? Because nobody understood it.
Yeah, NFTs, they were definitely a psyop. They're designed to get everybody moving towards this cryptocurrency, this idea that we're going to have everything digital, and it was an easy way to get, influencers, famous people to start promoting that stuff and having it associated with an image that we then can start to consider digital currency and start to try to go towards a digital currency. Because I know a lot of people do not want to go to digital currency. They want to hold on to their dollar bills and all of that good stuff, which, I mean, I can't blame them. I'm in the same way. I'm a Luddite. I'm one of those people who doesn't like technology as much, even though I come from a highly technical background. I prefer to try to keep it as traditional as possible for as long as possible. Because there's a theory that with the evolution of technology, so goes the evolution of society and the removal of empathy from society on the macro level. And
your cold hard cash and your original liquefied femur bones under your bed.
That's where I keep them. I keep them under my bed. Now, are you a guy that has like a lot of sketchbooks? Do you do the sketchbook thing, or do you do predominantly everything digitally?
Non-stop.
Okay, so you do.
I used to, before this thing, I don't know if you can see, this is the Cintiq tablet, the big old giant tablet, and the 30-inch screen is over here.
Yeah.
I used to, and there's a table back there.
Yeah.
Which my kids have made this room used to be really neat.
Yeah.
It was so clean and neat. There is just shit everywhere now.
Yeah.
All over the floor, just comic books, their drawings, toys, the food they were eating.
Yeah.
There are crumbs everywhere in this room. I used to draw at this table.
Yeah.
This is the same table I had since I was in 7th grade.
Wow.
And back there, I don't know if you can see Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
And then a family portrait, Snoopy, kids playing soccer, and then Picasso. This is the same. And on that table, there's Calvin and Hobbes stickers, Dave Matthews Band stickers. It's the stuff I was into in high school. I drew there, and I used to take those drawings and transfer them. Wait, what was the question?
If you did sketchbooks, if you're a big sketchbook guy, or if you keep everything digitally, or how do you go about that?
When I first started working professionally, I would sit at this table in Hoboken, and I had just an 18 by 24 sketchbook.
Yeah.
I always kept an 18 by 24 sketchbook under everything. And over top of that, I would keep Bien Fang 360 marker paper.
Okay.
And so I would draw on the marker paper, then slip trace the marker paper from my drawings to make a clean version. And then I would scan it in and color it in the computer. That was the beginning of the professional career.
Nice.
the sketchbooks have notes from 2003.
That's what I'm
Just
saying. Yeah, notes. They have notes. They have thoughts. They're like same with me. I got them everywhere. I fucking love that shit. I was just wondering if like you had a similar kind of thing going on.
they're over there now. Now the kids have filled them up with their drawing. Because then
Which is even better, bro. That means a full life. That room is full of life right there. That's fantastic.
it's so messy. It's such a disaster. You're seeing me and the wall over there, but the floor is covered with family garbage.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we used to just sit on the couch and draw together. And then if everybody wants to find me on YouTube, I just started a YouTube channel. It's me drawing with my kids because they would come to me and say, they just suddenly got really into Spider-Man.
What
you
is
draw
your
Spider?
Yeah, what's your YouTube? I'm gonna pull it up here in a second. I want to make sure people follow.
It's just at Charlie Snogans.
What is it now? It's at Charlie Snogans.
At Charlie Snogans, CHARLIE. Just my name,
Okay, Charlie
SNOGANS.
Okay.
And I did. So my son
Okay,
came
I
to me
got
and
it.
said,
I got it.
he said, I want to make a comic. And I said, all right, what are you making? And he,
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. 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 Oh, I'm sorry. You're let me fix this audio. It's the audio thing again on this. I have a different scene set up, and so if an audio thing goes out, damn, let me get that going back. Okay, there. All right, buddy, you're back. So we this is your YouTube right here, and you draw with your son, and you're drawing Spider-Man. I have it pulled up next to me on our overlay, and you're drawing with your son right now, and it's fantastic, bro. This is a fantastic idea. If you could just recap that the last minute.
so it started with me. They kept asking me to draw Spider-Man for them. And I said, all right, so this rough sketch, let me explain to you. And I said, well, why don't we do it on a video? So let's capture it. And we shared it with our friends. And the first part of the video, I did a sort of flat way of how you see Spider-Man and what he looks like. Then in the second half, it was how to draw Spider-Man flying through the air. Because if you're going to draw Spider-Man, he has to be flying through the air. So now as this video goes, I'm going to start drawing darker and start putting his legs into strange positions. And he'll say to me, wait, you told me about eyes.
This is great.
So make sure you explain to people the eyes and the feet. So now I'm drawing that left foot that's really poking through space, which is I love. Pick a spot for the foot or the hand to go and figure out a way to fit it into that space. And then at a certain point, because it's hard to talk while you're drawing.
Yeah.
But then he'll say to me, wait, you skipped the thing about webs and the different ways to make webs. And I say, all right, then you have to make it's an industry standard. If you're going to draw Spider-Man, you have to make Todd McFarlane webs.
Yes, the spaghetti web, of course.
And Todd McFarlane, never leave out that Todd McFarlane always gave full credit to Michael Golden,
100%,
who actually created the webs that Todd made popular. And then we'll end up talking about, he loves John Byrne because we read almost every night. We read the John Byrne Fantastic Four run in giant format.
Let's go.
And at the same time, my daughter is obsessed with Calvin and Hobbes, so that's part of the story.
Oh, fantastic, man! Yeah, that was another one I love too.
So we made a picture of this, and then after I made this, I made sort of, well, this is a cool pose. I'm gonna make a color illustration out of this. So then I made the color illustration and I thought it looked pretty cool. We Dutched the angle.
Yeah.
I did the buildings. By the end of this video, we talk about the buildings and what I always loved about. When I was young,
Well, there's the buildings. Yeah.
I
Fantastic.
loved the Empire State Building back there, and I love also the fact if you're drawing, this is a tip for everybody out there. First, never draw all the teeth.
Yeah.
If you're drawing teeth, don't draw all the teeth. That's psychos draw all the teeth, and it looks like a psycho is drawing it.
Yeah.
Don't draw all the bricks in the building. Psychos draw all the brick. What's the spectrum? You're drawing all the bricks. Don't draw all the bricks. Hint at bricks. Hint at teeth. This is coming to you from someone who drew for Colgate. For
Yeah.
20
Colgate,
years.
bro. This guy's legit right here. Yeah.
Teeth, because there's no black lines between your teeth unless you have giant spaces between your teeth and you can whistle while there's still water in your mouth.
And that's the Ozempic ads, okay?
That's right. So here I'm drawing my favorite thing in the world when I was drawing Spider-Man as a kid, water towers. And then the buildings of Manhattan. And when I draw the buildings of Manhattan, don't draw straight lines, everybody. You're not an architect.
Yeah.
Draw curved lines, because when you observe things and if you look through a hallway, if you start drawing a hallway and then you draw the other end of the hallway, it's a curved line.
Yeah.
Because you live inside of your head.
The fishbowl.
And your head is that's right, fishbowl. Your head is a little fishbowl. And when you observe things, it is going to be a fishbowl effect. So if you want to make it feel like somebody's in the world that you're creating, curve all the lines. Do not use a straight edge.
Yeah. Oh, I agree.
Also,
100%.
straight edge, mention straight edge, boring.
Bro,
that's the people that don't drink, they have no fun.
That's for torture. You torture people and you make them use a straight edge. That's like an engineer or a draftsman right there. There he is. You're talking about the bricks right then and there. This is fantastic. What a great idea to do this. And how big is that paper? It's so big. It's so inviting right there, bro. That's so much fun right there.
You're an illustrator. What's your worst nightmare? When you're drawing something and you get to the edge.
Yes.
Oh no, this is not an iPad. I do not have pinch and zoom.
I've done that many times.
So when you get to the edge, the other thing I was always horrified about is I'm running out of paper.
Yeah.
I can't make any more mistakes. I'm down to 3 sheets of paper.
Yeah.
No. So when you get to the edge, it's scary. When you're running out of paper, it's scary. Have extra paper.
Yeah.
Get big paper. Draw in the middle of it, and don't be scared to draw big and bad and vicious. Yeah. Keep going. Let your creation. If it spawns out to the left, if it creates out to the right, do it all, and don't be fearful. Use curved lines. Don't use straight edges.
Yeah.
And don't draw all the teeth.
No, I completely agree with you. You're going to have to frame those pages, bro. Your kids are going to love them as they grow older. No doubt about it.
Because I'm getting fatter by the second. So it's good. A few years ago, I was not this fat.
Yeah.
Oh, and my beard was not this white.
Right.
I turned into, a few years ago, I was playing in the back. We were all playing. A bunch of old friends from the old neighborhood came, and we were playing soccer in the backyard. And I pulled down the hat over my head, and I had this white beard going on.
Yeah.
And then I suited up so we could play soccer in the yard or football or whatever you say. And they all started calling me Tactical Santa Claus.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Like I had the gear on, but I looked like this old and fat. You know, and I've aged and accelerated, right? So making these videos,
it happens. Tell me about it. These are going to be forever though. They're real treasures. Everybody, go follow Charlie Snogans on YouTube. Also follow him on X. Charlie Snogans on X as well. Fantastic feed, fantastic artist, tremendous heart. I had a couple more questions. I don't want to keep you. I don't know.
And then we'll stream on my end of it too.
Fantastic. I think that'd be brilliant. That's incredible.
I feel like we're on such a simpatico wavelength that I could talk to you for several hours.
Oh no, I completely agree. I just want to be respectful of your time. I know that you know, being a family guy over there, I don't want to keep you up too late past whatever.
I read I read a bedtime story every night to them. The bedtime story has been read. They're asleep, and No,
it's okay. I'm switching the camera for you so you can see me rather than the overlay.
He was very bummed out. He said, "Dad, we made these videos. Let me do the video with you tonight." And I said, let's wait to talk to Ray. Let me talk to Ray first.
Yeah, you got to get to know the people first. Yeah, I completely, this whole online thing is completely inverted to what I've experienced in real life. So it's been quite a learning experience as far as who people are, all that kind of stuff. And also, I like how you did it with your son where you can't see his face. I think that's brilliant. I really like that.
Or that I need to be that protective,
Yeah.
but I'm going to
I,
start from that position.
I think it's a good position to be at. Yeah, I think it's a good position to be at. If I had children, I would do the same thing. I would protect their identity until they chose not to, until it's their decision not to.
I don't think they should have iPads or phones until they're.
I completely agree. And you heard what Bill Gates said back in the day, and what Tim Cook said back in the day. He doesn't want his kids having any of that stuff. We could go on to a huge conversation about how they researched the goal machines of the human mind and how they researched creating, dopamine hits based upon emulating, these patterns of addiction or slot machine or gambling, and then embedded that within social media and in these devices so that you continually doom scroll and put more and more time into it. And also how the mind works when you put pencil to paper. It does something different versus than when you're touching the screen and all of that kind of stuff. So, we could definitely talk about that. In fact, this is a really good idea, a question that I wanted to ask you, especially with AI coming up, and you do a lot of stuff for advertising, a lot of layouts, a lot of storyboards. How has that impacted what you do? Is that something you're concerned with, or are you to some extent? What are your thoughts on that?
Haven't been hit yet. Storyboards right up to last week when I turned my attention back to this. And in my career, always there's a downtime here and there. And the downtime was when I did the book. And if it takes over, I don't know. Do you want to landscape with me? I'll landscape.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, bro, that's what I'm going to do. That's why I am so staunch in the traditional arts, because you know what the elite collect? They collect traditional art. They don't collect digital art. And of course, I have nothing against digital art, but when I really got into the oil painting, and I really loved the texture and the touching it and the magic of creating flesh tones and landscape paintings and stuff like that, and the color harmonies and all that bullshit. And so for me, like even big or small or whatever, that's something that I became addicted to, basically, and obsessed with. Which you have to be obsessed if you're going to be great, right? It has to be something that you're like
Obsessed, dude. Once I said, once I hit that live drawing scene as a student, as a young student out there in the schools,
yeah, Scottish.
you turn around,
Scottish.
you say, I'm going to make these things for real in real life and all that. But so when you put it on the canvas, I was obsessed. I became obsessed with Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with Michelangelo.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with the Renaissance, and then John Singer Sargent and
Sargent,
it all read it.
100%. Sargent, Ilya Repin, Serov, all those guys, bro. I was fucking into.
Do you know JC Leyendecker?
Of course, Leyendecker. Yeah, of course.
Talk about a great fag of all time.
Yeah, but his illustrations were fantastic. NC Wyeth, Andrew Wyeth, I'm big fans of those guys too. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I had a great teacher named, maybe you don't, I don't know how anybody knows him. His name was Vincent DeFate, a science fiction illustrator. And as a young person, to me, he said he was a teacher at FIT. One of these fantastic teachers. And this one guy said, he was in his 60s, and he said, if I have to make one more fucking painting of a robot, I'd rather put a hole in my head. And as a young person, I said, wait, your legacy, dude, you're so good at this. You want to put a hole in your head? But I'm nearly 50 now, and if I'm going to make another storyboard, I see what he was saying now.
Yeah.
And to anybody out there who's thinking, I'm going to leave a legacy. Oh, I'm going to leave a legacy of how wonderful my artwork was.
Yeah.
I would tell you, ask somebody under 30 who Johnny Carson is.
Yeah. Yeah. No, They're not. Yeah, they're not going to know.
There's no such thing as a legacy.
Yeah, they're not going to know.
It's not there.
I mean, even
Make-
look, this is maybe the first time in a long point of history where even traditional media has been replaced. If you could even consider that, bro, the traditional media, the oil, the gouache, the charcoal, it's been cast aside for something the first time in maybe several hundred years, because I believe that history is cyclical and I believe civilizations are cyclical. So we probably had this technology at some point way back in the past, and we're just coming up on another cycle. That's kind of what I think.
Are you talking about like that thing?
About
the
what?
Leppy Teppy?
Yeah.
The Leppy Teppy?
Yeah, stuff like that. Exactly. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it built up and then it collapsed and then we
Yes.
were set back far.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe it's wild to think about that, but
But see, now we're getting back in the Art Bell area. So that, I love that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 100%.
was a ceramics artist, and she was an art teacher in Jersey City. For anybody that knows the area, that's where it's a little. I was in Hoboken. She was teaching in Jersey City. Frank Sinatra was in Hoboken, and Sopranos was from there to here, where I am now in Nutley. It's all Sopranos territory.
I love that show.
If anybody watched the greatest television show of all time, so she was teaching ceramics and art there, and now she does the ceramics in her house. We homeschool the kids, and she does ceramics
that's
in the
based fire.
Yes, it takes a lot.
I know it does, but those are your kids. If I had kids, I would homeschool them too, 100%. They'd be doing calculus by the age of 10, bro. Throw out all the other stuff, the DEI shit, and we're just doing that. All right, go on. Sorry.
I'm gonna always go at an accelerator break because there's a lot of arguing that I hear from. I'm at the drawing table, and it's just I'll sometimes hear her just go, "Fuck this, get it, stop, you don't listen, shit, holy motherfucker," and I'm going.
So she's a sailor.
God.
I love it.
Yes, and the kids just go, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
So, but in our garage is the ceramic studio, and I'm seeing her do that, and I'm watching her do that, and I'm thinking with. Who knows what's coming? Her teaching them that might be the most important thing that anybody's doing anywhere. She does math with them and whatever, but I'm always thinking the most important things. Now she did the two most important things you could do with the kids.
Wait, say that again. You cut out for a second.
With the kids is sports,
okay,
and religion. And teach them ceramics, because if everything crumbles,
yeah, you're gonna need a potter. Yeah.
The discipline that you get from sports and religion, and you're gonna need to praise God. You don't have to praise God for God.
Yeah.
People get this confused.
It's for you. I agree, 100%.
Because you need to be thankful and praise the Lord.
Yeah.
The old. I might have been sucked into my past of being more like a George Carlin type thinker. Oh, what does Jesus always? God always needs your prayers that He feeds on them. No. It's opposite. You praise God because the praising makes you better, and then that's the starting point. Be thankful for things.
Yeah, it puts you in a position. It puts you in a different wavelength in your mind, in your body, in your soul. It does. It puts you in a completely different situation. I don't know if it makes you more humble or gives you a third, takes you out of your point of view, puts you in another point of view. You become more empathetic. You become more in touch with creativity, and your intuition fires up more. So I would completely agree with that. Yeah.
Fire up. And then I would even say, when I was young, George Carlin said, "Yeah, Bible and stuff. You like Humpty Dumpty." And as I got older and I was reading fairy tales to my kids, and then I said, wait a minute. No, more like in a Jordan Peterson way. The fairy tales are telling you all the things you got to know.
Yeah.
So whereas George Carlin was sort of depreciating religion because it's like fairy tales, I'm older now and saying, I love George Carlin still, but I'm going to elevate the fairy tales and say that they're more like the Bible stuff.
Yeah.
And the value goes up, not just for the fairy tales, but for the Bible and what it tells you. And then that's when I turn around and go, oh, I'm going to include all that,
Yeah.
and I'm going to tell that story. Do that. Don't belittle the story.
Yeah.
Elevate the story.
Well, and and also, through that Jesus told parables. He told parables for a reason. When they asked, "Hey, why don't you just give me a straight motherfucking answer?" And he said, "Well, because when I tell the parable, it has many answers at many layers for many different people at many different points of the journey." And so that's what that's a living story right there.
I mean, so when you tell the story, you can't just. And so, how old are you?
42. What now? You cut up.
Get some kids.
Yeah, I need to. I want to. Yeah, I'm not. No joke. Yeah, yeah. Well, you
Tell them the stories.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I do. I want to have kids. I want to have a family. I just it has been a little bit later for me in my life. And if I could have gone back, and I got some old personal things where the girlfriend bounced on me when I moved from the ocean to the desert, and I was just like, I thought I had the one. That kind of stuff happens, man.
The big switch. That is a big switch. That is a big test.
Yeah,
on that girl that was like,
and I'm not going to hold it against her or anything like that. I get it, and it changes the financial. I used to have a different kind of lifestyle than I have now. I cook a lot more of my own food now than I used to. I used to go out more, all that kind of stuff.
all I want to do is cook now.
Bro, me too.
I just want to cook.
And not gay, but I smoke a lot of meat, bro. A lot of brisket. A lot of pork, bro. I'm not lying. I got a smoker. I went to Texas a couple years ago, and I learned how to do it from some guy, and he got me all set up. I came back to California, and I've been smoking ever since, bro, and fucking loving it, dog.
What's your favorite one? What are you smoking?
I smoke pork shoulder or pork butt. That's my favorite. I think even more than brisket at this point. There's so many different ways. Like I found this little place down the road that has all the different woods, apricot, apple, pecan, all of them. And I mix and match and test it and do it the rubs and, then with the rendering and put it in the oven for, let it cool down in the cooler. That's my big secret. I wrap it in butcher paper, put it in the cooler, let it cool down overnight. So it slowly comes back down to temperature. And then when you cut into that thing, it's so juicy and moist. It has such a fantastic flavor. It's just like, oh my God.
And eat these smoked meats because, dude, you are stretching creativity from the technological side to the meats, to the arts, to the line work. You are making art out of your whole life.
Yeah,
and it is
exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. It's a process. I'm addicted to process. Anything with the process, I want to do it. And then I take that, you know what I do? I take that smoked meat and then I go and I make ramen with it. Not just shitty ramen, but real Japanese ramen, bro, with the udon noodles and all that shit.
Brilliant and beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
You're making art from when you wake up to when you go to sleep.
Yeah, 100% of the time I'm working on. And then I had to learn how to do all this video stuff, bro, with the streaming and this and that, and had to fucking. And then I had to build myself a whole desk and all that bullshit. And, so, yeah. Then you got to learn how to woodwork to build a desk because I can't afford to pay like fucking $5,000, bro. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It took a couple $100, buy a couple of sweet power tools, and then knock it out. That's what we do, dog. Yeah.
You've got a broken femur and you've pieced it together.
Yeah.
And your drawings look cool.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate the line work.
Yeah.
So in a Bill Watterson way, in the same way that me and my daughter wants to write him letters every day and say, I appreciate that you're not doing it anymore.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Could you please make more drawings?
Yeah.
And she didn't want to do it anymore. And she said, I want to write him a letter. And sons are I've got a son.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach him about the world, and I'm going to send him out into the world, and he's going to date girls and play sports and knock people out.
Yeah.
And that's my son. That's my son. And then your daughter comes along, and it's different.
Yeah.
It's this magical thing that comes over. And I don't know if you ever saw the video. There's this meme that goes around, and it's the dad is sitting on the couch, and his daughter's right by him, and he's got 3 other sons, and he puts his hands up. And the first punches his fist, and he goes, "Oh,
Oh, I saw
yeah,
that. I saw that.
you're good." And he puts his hand up, and the next son punches his other fist, and he goes, "Oh, you're strong. That's good. Okay." All right, and the third son comes over and he punches his fist, and he goes, "Oh, yeah, good. Way to go, buddy." And then he turns to the daughter and he puts his fist up, and she kisses his hand.
I know. I saw that. I saw
Oh,
that. I saw
dude,
that. I saw that.
that's for everybody out there that doesn't have kids or doesn't have a daughter. Maybe you have three sons and no daughter.
Yeah.
That's it. A daughter is magic.
Yeah.
They're little magical creatures. And my daughter, we read Calvin and Hobbes every night. That's all she wants to read now. She just turned 10. She's
Yeah.
10. And how does Calvin know all these words? 6. I don't know all these words. And I go, well, yeah, that's part of Bill Watterson's joke. And then she says, I think Hobbes is real. Hobbes is real. Why? And then she goes in this dissertation about why Hobbes is real. Then she says, I had explained to her in the past how all these people wrote to Bill Watterson. He quit, Bill Watterson, and he's not coming back. That's the end, and that's just what he thinks. And it only exists as a comic strip, not as a cartoon. It can't be Peanuts. It's not going to be a movie because to Bill Watterson, that destroys it. And I told her all these people wrote to him for years about how they wished he would please continue the strip or make a cartoon of it, or please let us have stuffed animals about it.
Yeah.
And she says, I want to write Bill Watterson a letter too. I said, what are you going to tell him? She said, I just want to tell him that I love him.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. That's incredible.
Mike.
That's incredible. We got Julian in the chat. He says his daughter was born today. Today his daughter was born. Bro, congratulations, Julian. Shout out to you, bro. Way to go. New dad right there. Congratulations to Julian. Yeah, Bill Watterson's incredible. He never sold out. I heard they offered him $300 million. He said, no, I'm going to hang it up. That's why everybody still loves Calvin and Hobbes. That's why they hate all the other cartoons, because they did sell out. So that's an incredible, incredible legacy. And for your daughter to be able to say that now and to want to write him that letter, that speaks to it, right? That's the magic. He did it. Bill Watterson did it, bro.
So, like, we as dads or parents or uncles or whatever, or people from the 80s and the 90s, you have to bring that to the next generation.
100%.
It's not a cartoon that they're going to find on Disney Channel or something. So now my daughter we go to in a church with a co-op where they do the homeschooling, and my daughter's she's bringing Calvin and Hobbes like fentanyl and to the realm.
Yeah.
And the other kids are going, I don't know what this is, and she's going, you have to read this. What are you, 8? It's time. You're almost too old. You gotta get in.
He almost messed the window. Yeah.
And I never knew it until I was in high school. I was a freshman when I first read it and went, what the heck? I was reading X-Men and Spider-Man, and then somebody gave me Calvin Hobbes. I said, what the hell is this? This is the greatest shit I've ever seen.
Ever. Yeah. Yeah. It's incredible. Multifaceted, bro. Watercolors, inks. Beautiful. Yeah. Gouache.
Gouache is such a great. You use gouache?
Yeah, I use gouache, yeah.
It's between the watercolor and the acrylic-y world where you can sort of do, because when we get technical and we're sort of arty douchey, watercolors is really a drawing medium.
Yes.
And acrylics is a painting medium.
Yeah.
But gouache, if you use it thick, you can make it a painting medium. I haven't done. When did you still using those things?
Yeah,
Are you still using actual things
and
then you scan it? Your drawings are beautiful.
Yeah, I just finished the last ink page today. I watercolor the comic I'm working on right now. And that's a funny story how I even got into all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I do gouache and watercolor for everything. I do the pen and ink. Calvin and Hobbes is actually a big inspiration to render it that way, to render it in watercolor and use inks with it rather than doing a digital. And I think it's come to that point where now it stands out because nobody really does it. So
something you can hold.
Yeah, tangible.
It's not a JPEG. It's not a PSD. You're holding paper in your hands, which a lot of the people, when we made the comic, And it was just like, well, just download a PDF. Everybody said, no, 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 no. I want a book to hold in my hands that I can't feuded the rights through some subscription.
Some
that they said,
Kindle
"Oh,
thing, yeah.
yeah." So that was a huge thing. We had 2,000 people that backed the book the first round, and everybody wanted the book to hold in their hands.
Yeah. No.
In a way that I didn't even appreciate it 5 years ago. I understand it all the more now as things are going, oh, your subscriptions run out.
Right.
What?
Yeah. Well, 100%.
Has run its course. While I have a stack, because I look like a hoarder over here in this room.
I got the same thing, bro.
Stack of DVDs that 10 years ago when I lived here,
Yeah.
my wife said, what are we going to do with DVDs? And I took a lot of DVDs and got rid of them, and I kept just
the good ones. Yeah.
The Princess Bride,
Yeah.
The Big Sleep, The Big Lebowski. I'm sorry. I don't care what happens. And then I love old music. I love jazz. I love Duke Ellington. And I in the past I ripped those discs onto the computer, and it was Duke Ellington 1958.
Yeah.
And you rip those onto your computer, and then okay, now I'm listening on my computer, and somebody, your wife, says, "You have it. Get rid of your disc.
Yeah.
It's taking up room."
Yeah.
So you get rid of the disc.
Yeah.
And then when you're playing it through iTunes substitutes.
They do.
The live recording.
I learned about that this year.
Recording.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, I have a live recording
and they
of Dominion
changed it.
Crescendo and Blue, and Paul Gonzalez is playing the saxophone.
Yeah.
Anybody that knows jazz out there. Paul Gonzalez is playing the saxophone for 8 minutes. And when you play it and it goes, oh, iTunes has substituted what they recorded 8 years later. No, that's not the recording. That's not what I listened to.
Right. And they do that, and that's crazy. That's wild. And how do they get off? Even when you compress an MP3, the compression isn't the same as the wave format that's on your DVD anyway. And that's a different thing too. And of course we didn't know that when I remember the craze when everybody was like, yeah, I'm ripping everything to MP3 and like gonna fuck the disc and all this kind of stuff. And I kept mine. I got a lot of classical music from back in the day, a lot of the cartoon. I got introduced to a lot of the classical music, the operas, through Looney Tunes, through different things like that, the 60s. Love that kind of music.
The Blue Danube, all the classical stuff.
Yeah. Barbara Seville, bam. Yeah, exactly.
The Cry of the Valkyries, or the Flight of the Valkyries.
The Flight of the Valkyries, 100%. I love all that stuff, and that's just not, it is. I remember them saying, when I say them, it's a nebulous them, right? Who knows who them is? Well, I remember them saying, "Oh no, just go ahead. It'll be a digital footprint. You'll have it with you forever." No. Now we see they're changing everything. They're instituting this blockchain where they're gonna, they're not gonna allow all of these different varieties. They're gonna say, why should I keep, in the cloud computing, which is just a warehouse somewhere with servers? Why should I fill up space with 10 different versions of that song? I'll get rid of 9 of them. Everybody's gonna have to listen to this one right here, and then that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be suppressed like that. I don't know how long it's gonna go for, but they're gonna make a go of it for sure. No doubt about that.
Changed and pulled away from the version that you were aiming at.
Yeah.
And only offered a version that they.
Yeah. Whoever they is, right. Yeah.
Who's they at this point?
Who's they, right? I don't know. But it's like, I know the people out in the audience, they might know the Killers, Mr. Brightside. I don't like that song except for one particular remix. Okay. I only like one remix of that song, and it's Heavenly. The French one, the Jacques Cousteau, it's not Jacques Cousteau, but it sounds like that. That's the guy who remixes. It's fantastic. But they're going to suppress all that stuff. They're going to change it.
We'll remix it so you can breathe it deep underwater. No matter how far you down into the water, you can breathe only the way I tell you to breathe.
That's right.
If I tell you to breathe the other way, you get down on the water.
Yeah. Well, and that's another thing that you bring up that's really good too, is like the censorship. You learn traditional, I learned traditional. I always wanted to have the power that if I ever needed to sit down and do a portrait on paper or canvas, that I could do it. I didn't want to like rely on a computer to make up for, like a crutch, so to speak, or whatever. That was a concern of mine. Perhaps it was a concern of yours too, as you evolved. But you learned the basics. I learned the basics. think about kids nowadays that perhaps didn't grow up, with those classes, learning all that stuff. What's going to happen when they have that taken away from them? It's going to make people that know how to do it traditionally even more valuable because they're able to carry that wisdom forward. And then also think about the censorship. If you make a cartoon, you make a political cartoon that says, fuck you, whomever, and they're going to say, you can't say that. Well, bitch, if I do it on paper and then I print it, I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. But if your Adobe CS, whatever says I can't do it, that's different. You see what I'm saying? I've always thought, what are your thoughts about that?
So upset for years for Adobe.
Yeah, Adobe,
they
backstabbed everybody.
Renting. $200 software in your computer. You have it. That's it.
Yeah.
Now it's on a month-to-month renewity basis for when it started $53 and now it's $72 or something like that.
Yeah. Not only that, but they scrape your art for their database. Not only do they scrape your art, but they hold copyright, joint copyright. I don't know if you saw the latest release of it, but they were saying that they have joint copyright rights to whatever you create using their software. Crazy.
That's bonkers.
That is crazy, bro. So I don't know.
Hardware is sold. I think my hardware is all from 2014. So I can't update past that a certain level.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm working with everything several years ago, and they keep saying, "Do you want to update your software?" And I keep saying, "No, I can't."
Yeah, well then you're golden, bro. They don't have any right to any of your stuff.
I hope so.
Yeah, no, they don't. They don't. You got to consent. That's the way the devil or the vampire works. You got to invite them in, right? Charlie, we're coming up on 2 hours here. It's been fantastic talking to you. Time has flown by. We've gone through 2 sets of earbuds, people. 2 sets of earbuds. We've had a great time. I too, I feel like kindred spirits. I could talk to you all day. I feel like we're gonna have another stream here pretty soon. I'll be looking forward to talking to you in another month or two. I can expect that. Everybody, go follow Charlie's YouTube. I want to bring it up again real quick. Go follow his YouTube. He's drawn with his kids, man. That's fucking incredible. Charlie Snogans on YouTube. I have it pulled up right here. Go give him a subscribe right there. I'll add it to the description too down in the video. Also, go give him a follow on X. That's Charlie Snogans on X. Fantastic artist, fantastic guy. A lot of wisdom. I've really enjoyed having a conversation with you, Charlie. I really enjoyed getting to know you. Thank you. Are there any final thoughts that you'd like to leave with the people as we bounce out of here?
Thank you so much. I'll talk to you once a week if you want.
Okay, I'm down. You might have to go through a couple more earphones though, but
maybe one with the kids around. They saw your picture on Twitter with your hat over your eyes, and Felix, my son, said, "The rainbow guy?" And I said, "He's not a rainbow guy. That looks like sunshine. That's sunshine. Ray is happy."
That's right. That's why I did it.
He goes, it's sunshine. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's dying to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm all for it, bro. Yeah.
If we could clear it with Mama, I'm not really concerned with him coming on here. They love to draw, and I feel like when you teach kids, they reinvigorate the brand. They tell me what I got to do next.
Yes.
What's fun, what's cool. And they love comics, they love cartoons. And when I did a couple streams without them, it was okay. I could talk to anybody open-ended. But when they were with me, I clean up my language a little bit. They can hear a few curses, But they also ask the pertinent questions that anybody would ask. So when I stream with them, I have to be a little more concrete and a little more explain the things that I might be missing. And that's how you keep contact with the world, but through one another. And that's the fun for me.
No,
I wasn't drawing comics until their interest in it bloomed again.
Wow.
And that's why I'm here.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm so glad you are here. Fantastic artist, fantastic draftsman, impeccable colors, great guy, great sense of humor. I'm gonna stop glazing you now. I'm gonna run out of glaze sometime soon, bro. But yeah, we'll talk offline. We'll set something up. That sounds fantastic to me. I firmly agree. Do you reincorporate the youth in order to stay on track, stay connected to the creativity? They see things that as we age, maybe we forget or we lose priority of things like that.
I'm doing this because of that.
Yeah.
I'm here interested in comics again, and on YouTube, not because I'm not saying like I'm resisting it, but they've redirected my interest away from just commercial stuff. I had a wonderful mentor when I got into advertising named Simon Alisea, and I was sitting at the table drawing all my little details and shit like that, and he would lean over my shoulder and as an adult in a marketplace say, "Charles, this is commerce, not artwork." Commerce.
Yeah.
And when my kids were born and I started drawing stuff with them, it became artwork again.
Yes. That's well said. Yeah.
I can't quote it, but it's in the 2 Superman movies. The Christopher Reeve one, when Marlon Brando tells him, "You'll see the world through my eyes, and then I'll see the world through your eyes." And then in the remake of that comes up again. And the one everybody dismisses it, the one that the guy might have been quite a gay child rapist or something like that. I hate to say a child liker.
Yeah.
Young man liker, a pederast. If
There
we're going to use that
pederast.
word properly,
Okay, yeah.
the proper word for an older guy that likes young men, not a pedophile,
Right,
a pederast.
Yeah.
I forget his name. He made the X-Men movies, but he made that Superman movie, and it was good. People dump on that Superman movie.
Tim Gunn. Is that who you're thinking of?
No, Tim Gunn's with Heidi Klum making fashion shows.
I like Tim Gunn though.
He's cool too.
James Gunn. Yeah, James Gunn.
No, James Gunn's making the new one.
Okay. Yeah.
The guy, he made all the X-Men movies and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He might be a depraved lunatic, but he remade the Marlon Brando scene with Brandon Routh as Superman, who sees his kid and he says, I explain the world and you see the world and I see it through your eyes. Blah, 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 blah. It's a beautiful quote. Marlon Brando, first Superman, reinvigorate the brand. That's rebirthed my interest in all these things. It was beauty on earth. Have kids. Get out there. Teach them stuff. Homeschool them.
Let's go.
Do art. Teach them math. Everything.
Yeah.
Teach them everything.
Completely agree with that.
Yeah.
That's the winning strategy. 3-generation family. Get it if you guys can get it. Start making it. Start making it now if you don't have it yet. Make it a long-term goal. Charlie, fantastic interview, fantastic conversation. When could people maybe start to think about seeing the second issue of Fatl? When do you think that's gonna ballpark? We're not gonna hold you to anything here, Charlie. We're not contractors here. We're not gonna make a contract. Come on.
Maybe launching somewhere in July. I'll keep making videos with the kids and then live stream. I hope you'll come on.
I'll be happy to. Would love to.
I want to meet your English friend.
Yes.
That guy is hilarious.
James is hilarious. James Domenico Graben, South London James.
Stream one time. I got to meet that guy.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, you totally can meet that guy. Yeah, I'll pull him on stream. I think he was in the chat earlier. He usually is pretty good. But
I watched The Love Boat the other day. I want to meet Forest Mom or whatever her
Forest
name is.
Mommy's great too. She's like one of the few based unicorn women that are out there that I've run across anyway. She's a great individual too. Yeah, so no, you could meet the whole crew, bro. 100%. They'd love to have a chat with you.
All right, come on with us. I'll come on with you.
Yeah.
All to the future. Choose.
I fucking love it. All right, people, we're gonna bounce out of here. It's been we're running on 2 hours and 14 minutes, so it's been a great,
oh my goodness,
great conversation.
neither of us can stop talking,
bro. I could go on in like probably 10 different topics, 100%. But we'll
all right, I'll do all of them. We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll tackle that again. But everybody, get the fuck out of here. Go have a great night and light it up. Have kids, like Charlie said. Have a life. Get adventurous. Take charge of your life and have fun with it. And go kick some ass. Let's go, people. Let's go.